The Depth to Delve Deep by Rote Writer. Chapter 42 Slander. Rote returns and enters the convent. The Mother Superior, as if awaiting his return, accosts him in the hallway. It seems she's been waiting for a while. She assails him in an almost accusatory fashion, asking if he's taking drugs. Rote's shocked, absolutely astounded and dumbfounded by the unfounded fact. To hear her say these words in such a way really hurts. Up until now, he's been under the doctrine that he's been the darling of those divine debutantes. Oh, to hear those words charged so callously effectively boxes his ears into disbelief. Rote's ire is on fire after his stunned state abates. To be so abruptly accused leaves him at first confused, then mused, then infused. Rote responds with a penitent plea to Providence, in hopes to heal what seems to be a spurious and curious censure by the sisters. Still taken aback, he emphatically and unequivocally says, "No." Again she responds politely, though curtly, with a "No." Unfortunately, his answer isn't enough to let him pass. The Mother Superior asks him again, "Have you been taking drugs?" She does so by palliating him with pleas to profess, or rather confess, his trespass. Again he responds overtly and curtly with "No." Again, hoping his stature will no longer succumb to any more suspicion, the Mother Superior, spurred on by who knows what, keeps up with an atoning tone of the third degree. "Are you on drugs?" "No." "Are you taking drugs?" "No." "You've been indifferent since coming back from your trip. You must be on drugs." "No." "You can tell me. Tell me you're on drugs." "No." "It's okay to tell me. Just say you're on drugs." "No." It's not every day someone gets upset with a sister, especially with the Mother Superior. Sisters who belong to the same order Mother Teresa Mother. Nonetheless, Rote's incensed with her mode of inquiry. It's an unrelenting, monotonous query quest, especially after going through 3 months of awful withdrawals just to be free of his dependence on acetaminophen with codeine. He does so determinedly, doing push-ups every night to curb the discomfort felt in his forearms. They seem to take the brunt of his hang. And if that's not enough, Rote's been sober for about as long, and now to be free from all forms of failure save for smoking and finances, he finds himself accosted without accolade but reproach. It riles him to no end. He wonders why. Maybe his liberal conversations inside the convent with his come-by compatriots, surely a surly crew, on topics not in tune with the savor of their savior, have been heard. Maybe the printed out papers placed on his bedside table on subjects he's been keen on, like the Beltane Festival, Rosslyn Chapel, Ley Lines, Stonehenge, and other similar supernatural sites, are seen as sinister to the sisters. Perhaps the portfolio on Ireland, highlighted with his ancestral name and all things Celtic, listing his lineage all the way back to Adam, through to King David and many Maguire kings, proudly posted on his bedroom wall, is too much. Mother Superior then tells him a couple of days later to take it down. Doesn't support their scriptures, similitude. He guesses all of this has somehow pricked the bubble he's perpetuated as being a pious person, and herein is the result. Conversely, and not so adversely, Rote recalls the one fellow who lives there at the convent, who always is there to lend a hand with the sisters. The only one spending hours helping with the cooking, the only one to help serve the 40 or so folk that will come by daily. Afterwards, he helps with the cleaning, not to mention all the other times he goes out of his way to do carpentry, and whatever else needs fixing in the convent and outside in the cloister. This fellow, coincidentally, is the only Catholic at the convent besides the sisters. The rest at that time are pro-Protestant, Presbyterian, Anglican, or atheist, and then Rote, who refrains from rendering himself Rote. This fellow, who graciously lends his beloved sleeping bag to Rote, finds a little statue out in the backyard. It suddenly appears before him like a religious miracle. Like the line from the Beatles' song, Let It Be, Mother Mary speaks to me, it resonates with him, and he tells Rote, the sisters know things, or see things, or have ways with things spiritually, and in so will in some way unfurl a greater will. Intuitively, the imp knows he's unable to leave the cleave of the convent unless pushed by Providence. So with that in mind, it happens, however happenstance. With the impasse now present, he finds it impossible to remain an environment where the sisters spurn him. The next morning, Rote's on board a coach. He's on his way to catch a ferry to Ireland, Northern Ireland.